All right, welcome creators. Before we get started, if you'd like to follow the session in your own language, just look for the little interpretation icon. I believe we just have Spanish only for this one. So if you would like to listen in Spanish, same directions as our previous sessions. You can look for the little interpretation icon. If you are on the browser version, you'll see it on the bottom bar. And if you're using the app, whether you're on desktop or mobile, you'll find it under the More menu. And once you've selected your desired language, you can unmute the original audio, totally up to you. So we have this in English or Spanish, your choice. You are now boarding the future ride, everybody. This is our futuristic simulator that takes you straight to Genially's Lab of Tomorrow. And you've earned this VIP access thanks to your mastery in the Mirror Magic Challenge. And today, we're going to take a look at some magic that doesn't exist yet. Yet. Okay. So fasten your seatbelts. The ride starts now. Here we go. All right. So flying into the lab of tomorrow, we're going to begin with the architecture of tomorrow. Okay. So here in the lab, our focus is to give you the tools you need to design amazing experiences with no coding required, right? So let's take a look at our first prototype. This one is zero gravity. Okay. And yes, also known as drag and drop. So we're going to check out this first prototype. It's drag and drop functionality, not just the ability to make things draggable, since we already have that in Genially, but the ability to make those drag and drop activities self-checking. This has been one of our most often requested features, and I'm excited to announce that it's coming, everybody. Yes, it's coming. And so here are some early examples to kind of show the concept. Keep in mind that since the widget doesn't exist yet, these are incomplete samples created just kind of for illustrative purposes. So for now, you'll have to use your imagination, right? You'll have to kind of imagine the future here, but not for long, okay? Not for long. So yeah, so I'm just going to kind of click through these here, and you can, I believe, you'll be able to access this as well. I think you might see that in the chat. If not, that's okay. You'll be able to see what I'm doing here. So yeah, so here's an example of even or odd numbers. Okay, so you could drag this here, and drag the things. This is the standard dragging capability that we already have in Genially, but this could check your answers as you drag them, right? Or at the end of the process of dragging them. Okay, so there's one example. We could do ordering, steps or sequence. So something like this, ordering the planets of the solar system. Ooh, this one has some sound, but I don't think I shared my sound because we don't really have a whole lot. But you can imagine it's like a spacey sort of sound. So yeah, so this one you can drag your planets to where you think they belong, and this is kind of hard to do when I'm like presenting at the same time, but yeah. So yeah, you get the idea though. But yeah, this would be checkable, right? This would be self-checking as your learners are or participants are doing this. Oh yeah, I'm totally out of order. Yeah, Uranus is not there, that's for sure. But you get the idea. You can check. You can check this. This is like when I was trying to play the memory game in another session, another time, and it was a disaster trying to play a memory game and present at the same time. Yes, the solar system collapsed, indeed. Yeah, sorry, and it's all Genially's fault. I'm sorry. Okay, extracting from a group. So this one's cool. So let's pull this up. So you can, this is just like a finishing the word example here where you could drag the missing letter. And so you can imagine, boom, there. Now you'll get some sort of effect that will show you that this is a correct answer. Or if you do the wrong one, it show you that it's the wrong answer. Okay. So there's another possibility. Locating. Okay. So you might recognize this. This is kind of from our crime in the building template that some of you may have seen before. So you can see this one. You've arrived at the second floor. To continue, insert the key into the correct door. Ah, so yes. So now this could be something where when you insert the key into the right one, something will happen it'll open, it'll go to another page, there'll be a reveal animation. Think of all the standard Genially interactivities that are available for anything else on the screen. You'll be able to do that with this drag and drop functionality. We also have this one for labeling. This is another one of our templates that we have, but modified here to kind of show you. Okay, so you could like label things, and as you drop them, it will check you and all that good stuff. Then we have identifying. So, this one, Dia de los Muertos, right? Day of the Dead is approaching. So place each photo in its spot. So you can drag the photo to where it belongs. You could check that, right? And reconstructing an element. So this one has some Lego blocks and you have to drag the pieces to their corresponding places. So you can imagine lots of different possibilities for this sort of function. So those are just some use cases that can kind of give you an idea of what you will soon be able to check automatically or set up that self-checking for your learners in drag and drop. At this point with drag and drop, you kind of have to set up an answer key, right? And some of you may have done that before. You set up an answer key and you do a reveal animation or a window or something like that where you can reveal the answer key. Well, you won't have to do that anymore. You'll be able to have that self-checking possibility with your drag and drop functionality. So yes, I can't wait to try it either, Leia. Yes, this is a really cool feature. I'm sure the people here in this Zoom meeting and many others have requested. So we're really excited. So yeah, it's not just another activity. It's a fun way to engage your audience, to trigger those powerful cognitive mechanisms. And drag and drop is key for professional learning in a lot of different ways. For simulations and real contexts, you'll be able to design those real life scenarios where trainees can drag elements to position machine parts or classify or label or order sequences or things like that, right? Self-assessment in action by requiring conscious movement, that drag and drop, you reduce random responses, right? We all know the random, multiple choice guess and check type of thing that we see sometimes. Learners show that they truly know what they're doing when you require them to do this drag and drop type of thing. And then contextual feedback, triggering actions upon success, error, or completion, right? You have a misplaced element, it returns to its original position. Correct placement, you can trigger a pop-up or audio or something like that with extra info. And yes, this highly visual activity is going to support text, images, icons, and more. So yeah, get ready for the most creative simulations yet using drag and drop. All right, all right. Good start, right? Good start to our flight through the lab of tomorrow. Let's take a look at another piece of the architecture of tomorrow. This is prototype number 2, and I like to call it Project Chronos. It is the universal timer and stopwatch. Okay, this is perfect for escape rooms and time-limited dynamics, right? This is coming soon, of course, and so right now, when you insert a timer, it needs to stay on that page, right? It stays on that particular Genially page. And so you can time an activity on a page all day long, and that's totally fine. But sometimes you run into a scenario where you want to time the entire design, the entire activity, the entire escape room, right? We go to an escape room in real life and there's a timer that goes through the whole escape room, not just for one part of it, right? So we can add in a timer now that will time throughout the entire creation or throughout however many pages you want to time, right? So this means you'll be able to include that like I said, through the whole creation or just where you choose. It's not like all or nothing. It'll add rhythm, it'll add excitement, it'll add, full control to be able to measure performance in gamified learning. So we're really excited about that universal timer and stopwatch that is coming soon. Next, let's move on to another part of the lab and check this out. We're going to look at the invisible illusionist machine. Okay, so as we move deeper into the lab, we now come to one of our best kept secrets, the star attraction, if you will, in our tour of prototypes of the future. I want you to meet our AI assistant, the invisible illusionist for creation. This is okay, so this is another cutting edge prototype. with very, very limited access, but we've put together a video to show you what it's all about. So let me get this going and get this full screen so you can kind of see. So there's not really any audio here other than just clicking. So no worries if you're not hearing the audio. But you can see what this looks like. So you have your little assistant in the bottom right, and all of the different AI functions of Genially will be accessible to you there, including voiceovers, text manipulation, text generation, image generation, all of that good stuff. Okay, and I'll go ahead and play that again while I'm talking through a few things. So yeah, the illusionist can switch acts automatically, right? Moving from creation to transformation, depending on the trick that you need, right? The magic trick that you need. So yeah, it blends seamlessly into your workflow and it offers smart suggestions as well that never interrupt your flow. Okay, so yeah, it'll give you some suggestions if you need them. You can think of it almost as a creative mind reader. Yeah, yes, all the AI function at the same place. Exactly, Corinne. Yes. So yeah, so here's another thing about it as well. It includes new script effects for texts as well, with the same precision, the same magic that you already love in Genially. It's going to be there as well. And so this is the promise of a tool that won't quite read your mind, but almost. Okay, so very, very cool. This invisible illusionist. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at another one. So the universe of community is also going to change. So yeah, the Genially community you've seen the community start to evolve a little bit, especially here in recent months with the new community tab and those little revamps that we've done. But I'm going to show you now the interaction nexus. This is the universe of community, right? The future isn't just about AI, right? It's also about community. We can't lose that aspect of things. It's very, very important. And we know that as learning designers, as educators, right? In learning and L&D, collaboration drives everything. Right? That's why we're building an interaction nexus, a space inside Genially where sharing, inspiring, and even monetizing, yes, monetizing will be easier than ever. So here's an overview of the new community platform. So to kind of give you that overview, I don't have like screenshots of it just yet because it's again so new, but we have some prototype ideas. So we'll have ongoing games and challenges as part of that. You'll soon see a challenge banner near your collections in Genially featuring simple rules and exciting rewards. So how about something like a scrolly telling challenge or a gamified mission of some sort, something you need to create in Genially, right? These will spark your creativity, and yes, of course, there'll be some special bonuses along with that we'll reveal soon. And you'll have that healthy competition maybe with some of your friends and colleagues. Following creators, that's going to be a thing. You'll soon be able to follow your favorite makers on Genially. So you find someone who makes awesome stuff, you can follow them, right? When they publish new reusable content, you'll get notified. Just like many other social media platforms, you'll have that aspect of Genially. Plus, imagine a featured creators newsletter that's going to be coming out to help you discover community, right? Discover new gems in the community. We're also going to have forums and discussion spaces, right? These new community areas that are coming soon where you can share feedback, you can share ideas, you can, solve those advanced learning and instructional design questions that, having that community support can really help you with, right? And so that is one part of it. And then we also have our recognition and collaboration programs that we're going to have. So, for instance, we're going to have contributor creators. You'll be able to add value to the community by inspiring others with your reusable content. Okay, so you'll be able to share your, you can already share your reusable content, but in this case, if you stand out, for instance, you could join the official Genially Design Makers or Content Makers programs, which is our way of spotting talent and rewarding engagement on the Genially platform. So yeah, design makers, content makers, these are different roles, new roles that are being created in the community. And so I wanted to show you a little bit about each of those roles. So we have our ambassadors. We will always have our Genially ambassadors. I know some of you probably are ambassadors, and of course we love you, we appreciate you. But we're also expanding the community program with different roles now. And so our design makers, so you see, we have two maker roles, right? We have the design makers and the content makers. So we can take a look at design makers here. And so the focus with design makers is on visual excellence and interactive storytelling. Okay, so the more visual design creators, the real design focused people will be design makers. We'll have content makers as well. Whoops, let me flip the right one. There we go. We have content makers as well, right? The content makers will focus on the clarity, the usefulness, the learning impact of their designs in Genially. So whereas you see the design, maybe more of the design elements for design makers, and then more of the learning elements for the content makers. Then we have our trainers. Trainers are the ones that really are the experts in Genially. I mean, you know this tool inside and out. You follow all the new features, you stay up to date on it, you create amazing stuff, and you can help others learn how to use Genially to its fullest potential. So we're going to have this Genially trainer program if you're interested, where you can be a part of that. So very, very cool. And then we also have our innovators program. Innovators really embody visibility. It's sort of like an influencer type of role when it comes to Genially. So if you're a person who has a wide network, on social media, maybe you have a lot of influence, maybe you're a thought leader, maybe you speak at a lot of conferences and things like that. Maybe you can be a Genially innovator. That's one that doesn't take as much of a time commitment, maybe as some of the other roles in the community, but certainly is very, very important. So we're going to have those roles along with joining in with our ambassadors, and that's going to be the new community in Genially. So I'm really, really excited about all of these changes that are coming to the community and all the additions that are coming to our community. It's going to make it really, really, really amazing. So that is the VIP tour through the lab of tomorrow. So you can kind of see how Genially's roadmap focuses on making gamification, simulation, and AI powered efficiency, the new normal in digital learning. So thank you for boarding the future ride. I want to share with you this information is exclusive, right? So you have just had the first ever look at these features outside of the Genially team. So you're a very privileged VIP group. So the drag and drop, the universal timer, the AI assistant, and the future of our community. Now, though, comes the best part of your VIP Fast Pass, and that is the exclusive feedback and Q&A session. Okay, I know that a lot of people have been putting some things in the chat, which is great. That's awesome. Lots of participation. Yay, yay, yay. But this is your moment. This is your moment to share ideas, to share feedback, to share questions. Your input is what is going to build the next big attraction at Genially, right? That's where these things came from, was from your input. So, what questions do we have? What feedback do we want to contribute? Genially team, did we have anything in the chat? I wasn't really able to look closely at the chat as I was going through giving the tour of the lab of tomorrow, but were there any questions that maybe we can talk about a little bit here? I'm going to scroll through and look myself as we're going here. Okay, so yeah, the question, do the genialies of people we follow have to be reusable to be seen? Yes, Lori, yeah, they do. Right now they have to be reusable in order to appear in that community. Yeah. In the near future, yeah, like Margaret said, it won't be necessary. Um, oh yes, and yeah, Marga more than took care of that. She gave you the link as well. So good job, Marga. Okay, let's see. What else? What else? Okay, the AI widget mentioned in the Wicked Wizard. Yes, I am very excited about that one as well. And I too want to know when it's going to be available. For sure. Yeah. Our dev team is working through some things with that. You know, right now, like I mentioned in the Wicked Wizard, it's in pre-beta, right? So it's not quite to beta testing yet, but as soon as it gets to that beta testing, anybody who signed up for the beta test will be a part of that. You'll get an email. So that'll be your cue that it's time. And yeah, if you didn't sign up for that beta test, by the way, definitely make sure that you check out the Wicked Wizard session, which is posted on YouTube from a few days ago, day one of Genially WonderFest. We have a total, I think it's like 200 spots for beta testers, and last check yesterday, I think we only had like 50 spots left. So I don't know. It might be closed at this point. If you go into the Genially and it says it's closed, that'll be your cue. But yeah, it's definitely a limited beta test, and I can't wait because it is amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. Okay, let's see. I see we have some new things in the chat now. Let me scroll on down. Let me try not to close my window as I'm scrolling down. There we go. Oh, we only have 20 spots left, Marga says. Wow, okay. Yeah, yeah. So if you or your friends have not yet joined that beta test, definitely hop in that baby right now. Okay, so let's see. Lori, for the drag and drop, how does it work? Is there a special interactive area or okay? Yeah, so and like Leia said, yeah, right now when you choose something and make it draggable, it's just clicking that hand, it becomes draggable, and now the users can drag it on the screen, right? But for it to become self-checking, how that's actually going to look, I'm not totally sure just yet. I'm not sure if it's something where you'll set up an interactive area, and then when it drags into that, it will trigger whatever sort of interactivity. If you're familiar with the escape tools, I imagine some of you probably are because you're some of our most avid users. If you're familiar with those escape tools, you know that that used a little bit of scripting and you had to do some layering in order to drag something to one spot and have something happen when it hit that particular spot. So it may be something like that. But the main thing is it's going to be native in Genially now, which is awesome, right? So you're not going to have to do any special sort of coding, scripting, anything like that in order to be able to use it. And just like with anything in Genially, it's going to be super user friendly. You'll be able to figure it out. I'm sure this group especially, you'll be able to figure it out like that and be able to use it in a lot of cool ways. Let's see what else. What else? Any other questions or feedback, by the way? I mean, if there's something that you have been like dying to share with us that like you need to see this particular feature in Genially, this is a great time to tell us. Because yeah, like I said, our dev team, our team does a great job of listening to what our community has to say. And really, you know, acting on those things, adding those things to the roadmap. I will show you actually while we're waiting, if there are any other questions or feedback, I do want to show you here what it looks like when you go into our feedback platform. Okay. So in your Genially panel, right, you can go and forgive me. I have a little. I think I have a little dot here. Yeah, I have the little Zoom annotation thing right over top of this, of course. But in your Genially panel, can everybody see my panel there? Yeah. Okay. So in your Genially panel, in the three dots in the bottom left-hand corner, you have this option to send feedback. And so when you click that, if you've never been there before, this takes you to our Genially feedback platform. This is open to any Genially user. Anybody who wants to hop in can hop in and do a request for features, a request for specific templates, integrations, languages, any of that stuff. It's all here in this platform called Canny, which is our feedback platform. And so you have easy access to that. Again, from the panel, it's just the three dots in the bottom left and send feedback, and that takes you to it so that you can, if you don't think of something right now but you think of something later on that you want to suggest as feedback, you can totally pop that in there at that point. Okay. Let's see here. So Lynn was asking, where do you sign up? Yeah, for the beta. So the information for signing up in the beta is in the Wicked Wizard session. I believe the link is posted there along with that. I'm not totally sure. Maybe someone on the Genially team knows that for sure. But I know the link was shared during the session, and I think the link. Oh, hey, there we go. Thank you, thank you, Dana. Yeah, the team's on it. Dana's on it. So there we go. There's the link right there. If you haven't joined the beta, right there, responding to Lynn's question there. So you go into that Genially, put your information, and that will sign you up for the beta testing. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, it would be great. Okay, so Fiona, it would be great if the template could go beyond just being beautiful slides like those in Canva, Slides Mania, or gamified PowerPoints. Having more interactive features would really help make learning sessions more engaging and interactive. Okay, yeah. Definitely, I get that for sure. When we're talking about the templates, you want to be able to build things as quickly as possible, right? And so you want a template that's going to save as much time as possible. I think what our creative team does is they try to put together something that is good for a general audience and then kind of let you run with your creativity. I think really the place, Fiona, where you're going to find the most value for something like what you're talking about there is going to be in that new community, right? It's going to be in that community hub, that community tab that we have where people are sharing their stuff. Being able to follow creators, I think, is going to be big. So you find a creator that does something similar to what you do, or maybe works in your field or teaches your subject or whatever it happens to be, right? You can follow that person, and that can be, a source of inspiration for you and potentially a source of reusable templates, right? Yeah, okay, so yeah, Alejandro, two or more students in the same Genially at the same time. Yeah, that's a great suggestion there. Very good. Yeah, and our team's here, they're taking notes. So anything you're putting there in the chat, it will be there. Yes, yeah. I haven't even had a chance to check it yet, but like Marga mentioned, we've launched a new version of the community today. So yeah, definitely have a look at that. Constant changes coming coming in genially. Karine, yes, variables. Yes, I am totally with you on that 100%. I would love to see variables and conditional triggers and things like that in Genially. Some of those things, yeah, some of those things that you see in like the articulates of the world, that instructional designers really could use. I'd like to see those in Genially as well. And believe me, those conversations are being had definitely on the Genially team as to how to make those things happen. Let's see. What else do we have here? Just checking to see if, okay, to be able to build collaborative Geniallys outside of the presentations in escape rooms, for example. Um, yeah, so right, if you, like Leah said, if you have like an enterprise version or a school version, a school plan for Genially, you can do the collaboration there. But yeah, in the free version, you're not able to do that, is my understanding. Um, let's see what else. I feel like I saw something else in there that I wanted to address. Oh yeah, and yeah, like Leia said, with the drag and drop, right now you can add that reveal option that shows the results over all the things. And actually, you know what? I can show you. Let me show you that really quickly because I actually put that in. It was in the it was in a Genially that I shared in a previous session. This one here. Okay, so table setting and etiquette. I wanted to show you this one because this is how you can currently set up an answer key with drag and drop. shout out to Mia on our LATAM team for setting this one up. But basically, it's like this. Okay, so I'm in the editor right now, so you can see we have our menu up at the top, and it's showing all the places where you would put your, your stuff on a table for a place setting, right? And so it gives you, here's what it's supposed to look like. And then she has this right here, and I'll go into preview mode. This is the quiz, right? And it's a drag and drop quiz. And so it's just a simple example of how you can do this. So you have all of these things that are draggable. You can drag them to wherever you think they belong, right? And then once you're done dragging them, you can click this little I right here for the answer, and it gives you an overlay of where the things should have been, right? So that's the way, that's kind of the workaround right now, right? To be able to create something like that. So you create the answer key first, and then maybe you go back and do the previous pages before that, delete the things that don't need to be on those previous pages, and you have an answer key that you can use for drag and drop. So yeah, but not for long. You won't need to do that for too long, hopefully, because that new drag and drop feature is going to be released. Let's see what else. I see we have some new ones that are coming in. This is great. I love getting to answer some questions and chat with y'all a little bit. So let's see. Yes, yes, yes. Did I share something on my YouTube video? I can't remember. Leia, I can't remember what I've shared at this point. Uh, yeah, definitely. If you check out yeah, if you check out my socials, Genially James, I'm on basically all the different social media platforms. I post a weekly social media video series called Genialize That. And I frequently show things like transformations of here's the ordinary content and here's like the genialized version of the content. And so you can pick up a lot of these, a lot of these little tricks and things in those as well. Let's see. What else? What else? Oh, thank you, Leia. Yes, I love giving tips. I love helping people. Let's see. With all these upcoming advancements, nothing to envy about Articulate or Captivate. Yes, I love to hear that, Alejandro. That's great. Yes. Yeah. Genially's always been my favorite anyway. I have an instructional design background too, and so I'm very familiar with Articulate and Captivate. And I've always liked Genially better, honestly. I mean, yeah, and I know I'm an employee of the company, so you can take that with a grain of salt. But even before, I was always a bigger fan of Genially than I was of any of the other authoring tools and content creation tools. Um, yeah, yes, more custom masks and things like that. The AI widget creator can do incredible things. I mean, really, I can't wait for you all to get your hands on it. I'm one of the lucky ones that's gotten to play with it, and I have yet to come across something that it couldn't do. I mean, was it perfect the very first time that it popped out? Not necessarily every single time. A lot of times it was actually, but it can do it can do anything that I've asked it to do. Like I asked it to do, what was it? It was like I wanted to simulate the ability to like carve your name into a rock for a particular genially that I was doing. Kind of weird, yeah, but it could do that. It did that. It created like a little widget where you could like carve your name into the little rock background. Um, yeah, it's amazing. I created a general store widget where it simulated the process of purchasing items in a store, and you could choose your starting budget with a drop down. You could choose the different items in the store that you're purchasing with little toggles. And at the end, it would give you a receipt. It would give you a receipt, and you could download the receipt and save it as a PDF. You could print it out. Like it blew my mind. It really did. It blew my mind, and with how quickly it was able to make it too. Um, and it was for a Western themed thing. It was for like the Oregon Trail type thing. So I just asked it, "Can you do this Western themed?" And like within a minute or two, it pops out and it looks totally Western themed. It was great. So yeah, cannot wait for that for sure. Um, Yeah, and I'm sorry. I do have to go. I see watching your materials a few times are on slow motion. Yes, I know. I try to keep the Genialize that quick. I want to give quick tips. I know time is of the essence, right? So like 60 to 90 seconds, I try to keep it. And so I know a lot of times it seems like I'm going pretty fast. But hey, that's what that pause button's for. You can do that slow down, slow down your your playback on YouTube. Yeah. So let's see what else. What else we have here. Margot was about to answer every question with give the AI creator a try. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, if there was a question or a feedback item that I didn't mention yet, can you go ahead and just pop it in the chat again? Just because I know we've got a lot of stuff there. I'm trying to scroll and try to find everything that I can. And Genially team, if there's anything else that you wanted to throw in there for me to mention, um, definitely pop that in the chat as well. It would be handy to. Oh yes, okay. I thought I saw a glimpse of that, and then I scrolled right past it. Sorry about that, Lynn. Yeah, it would be handy to have text boxes come up with auto color box behind them. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. That's a Canva thing, right? You can do that. You can do that with your Canva effects pretty easily, right? Where it just automatically gives you a colored background for your text. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because when you want to do that in Genially, you do have to create that separate text box at this point. Yeah, so that's a very good suggestion. Absolutely, very good. What else? Anything else? We actually still have time. That's good. Have a few minutes left. Do y'all want to, hey, how about this? Do y'all want to see that general store widget that I talked to you about? Is that okay? All right. I see some heads nodding already. Okay. So here, let me do that because I have some time, so we might as well use it. So let's see. It was called the Overland Trails, and this was part of our mirror lab. I genialized this for here. Let me get this out of draft mode. I genialized this for a teacher. So I believe it was a social studies teacher. And so oh, I'm gonna mute the audio. I don't think y'all can hear it anyway, but it's very loud in my ear. So yeah, so this is like a riff on the Oregon Trail. And so let me go ahead and get to the general store part. So you choose your occupation. There's a randomizer there that takes you to choose your occupation here. Um, and then you choose your trail and yeah, it branches. So that's why you see a bunch of things. Okay, so here we go. You've arrived at the general store. So you go into the general store, you have your reveal that pops up with the clerk there. I put audio for all this, right? But then when you click start shopping, here we go. This is our widget that was created. So you have a starting budget depending on your occupation. So let's say I'm a farmer, I'll choose this. And then, okay, so now I see my starting budget, my running total, and my remaining amount. So notice that as I choose things, look at that. It keeps track of it, keeps track of my running total and the amount remaining. I definitely need a wagon. If I'm going to make it on the Oregon Trail, I need a wagon cover. Okay, how about a shotgun and ammunition, tent? There's a bunch of cool things I can get. I might need some rope. Oh, food cards. Yes, I'm going to add in these food cards for sure. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, notice it's scrollable, right? The widget is scrollable here. And you can change the size of it, right? You can resize it however you want on the screen. And what I found, at least with the early version of this, is that certain sizes and shapes work better than others depending on the layout of your widget, right? So yeah, so notice it has your running total here, 548. You have 252 remaining. And then this was the part that kind of blew me away. I was like, wait, a widget can do that? That's so cool. When you click finish and show receipt, so there's that, right? It gives you your receipt summary, starting budget, total cost, and the remaining amount. And then when you download the receipt, It says this came from the widget. An embedded page at plugins.genially.com says the download receipt feature will trigger your browser's print dialog, allowing you to save the receipt as a PDF for your records, as direct PNG download is not possible without external libraries. So the widget did that. I didn't do that. Um, and now it opens up here where you can save it as a PDF. Look at that. It shows your selections. So like as you know, as the learners go through, they can look back and see their selections. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, and this little info button as well. It did this automatically. I didn't ask it to even do this part, but it did this where it included this little button at the top and it gives you all of this. Understanding your store budget. Like it explains how the thing works. So you don't even have to come up with your instructions for this widget. It does it for you. No, of course, if you want to tweak them, you can. But yeah, it's all there for you. So very cool, right? That's again just a glimpse of the future and what you're eventually going to be able to do with Genially. So. Okay, let's see. Oh, can you have a template of that material? I don't think so yet. The dev team, I believe, said that we can't share them just yet with the new widgets until they work out a few things. But believe me, as soon as these things can get shared, I'm going to be sharing them. So yeah, again, keep an eye on my socials. Keep an eye on the community tab from the Genially team, from me, from Luis, from yeah, all of our various community builders and team members. We're always doing things and posting them. Will there be an option to set faded colors for text and shapes? I can't say that I've heard of that yet being discussed, but hey, that's a good suggestion, Gabriel. We'll definitely take that and take that to the dev team. Okay. All right, folks. Well, I think we have reached our time. This was the future ride. Journey to the lab of tomorrow, flight to the lab of tomorrow. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really appreciated all of the questions and everything that you all suggested. I see them; they're already in the document, our shared document with the team here. I can see that the questions and the feedback are already there. So this is something that was very helpful, hopefully for you, and it was definitely helpful for us. So yeah, I'm excited about the remainder of WonderFest. We have two more sessions remaining. At the top of the hour, we have the quiz coaster. Luis, I bet you, is very, very excited about that because Luis is going to be hosting that quiz coaster, I think, along with Tricia. And that is okay. So that might end up being like the biggest Genially live quiz ever. Okay, so check that out. It's on YouTube. You'll be able to catch that on YouTube. And then we have our final fireworks show that is going to be happening just an hour after that. So, like in about an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to have our grand finale fireworks show with raffles. Prizes are going to be given out, winners are going to be announced, and stuff like that. So, make sure that you check that out. Yeah, there's the link for the quiz coaster. And Leia, could we have longer sessions in the future? You know what? Yeah, I get it. I get it. I know. When it comes to Genially, I always want to hear more and more and more. So, hey, this is our first Wonderfest. It's only going to get better, right? It's only going to get better year after year. But yeah, hopefully you've seen some cool stuff and been able to experience some cool things. So, again, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of Wonderfest, and I'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy.